Guys, welcome to the channel. It's something a bit different here, but today we have got the co-founder, the founder of Gamedaysquad with us today for an interview. Callum, welcome to the stream, man.
Good to be here, Vinny. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. So let's just jump straight into it. So I guess really the main question I want to ask is what is Gamedaysquad? What made you come up with Gamedaysquad?
Yeah, so Gamedaysquad, for those who haven't come across us before, is what we think a revolutionary fantasy sport platform that we're looking to introduce to Australia. That's going to have the AFL and the NRL games for the 2022 season. So we're all built, our fantasy platform is different. We're built completely on the blockchain and we use the player cards as NFTs. So it's very similar to a FIFA, if you will, where if you've played a FIFA Ultimate Team where you collect packs or open packs, collect players and build your team. That's the sort of model we're going for. It just really means that coaches who love fantasy get true ownership of these players. And, you know, for example, not every player gets to have a Tuke Miller or a Jack Steele in their team. You actually have to pack and own those cards, which is really, really exciting because it adds a bit more strategy and a bit more variance into it. So, yeah, we're really excited. We're doing lots of different things. It's probably hard to go through everything here, but yeah, hopefully that's a nice little summary.
Perfect. I saw because obviously we've been talking quite a bit, and I saw that there was different like variants, like the legend, I believe. I don't know all of them. You would. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So how we've set it up is for every single player, regardless if they're Tuke Miller, the best card in the game, all the way down to a rookie who hasn't played a single game. Every player has the same amount of cards. So it's a bit different to a FIFA in that sense where, you know, your Messi's are golds and then you've got silvers and bronze. We kind of go for each Tuke Miller, there's a legend card, there's X amount of, you know, diamonds, platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and each of them have a different multiplier. So for example, the 1/1 legend card for Tuke Miller has a 1.5 times multiplier. So if his normal fantasy score is 100, then with that legend one, he'd get you 150. Whereas the diamond card, which is a 1.4, he'd get you 140 and then 130 and 120. So it just means that it gives people the opportunity to go after, for example, if you were massive on Sam Walsh, so obviously a Carlton fan, we think Sam Walsh is one of the best players in the game. You'd try and really target that legend Sam Walsh card because you know that's going to be a great card for years and years to come. Whereas some player you might like, maybe you don't want to go after a sort of as high of a card, and you might sort of be happy with a silver or a gold or, you know, that sort of tier.
Perfect. With that, like, how would you target a player?
Yeah, so if you'd imagine no cards currently exist, and the only way for the cards to enter our game is through packs. So once they're opened in packs, they get sort of taken out of the pot of all the players are, and they get introduced to our game. Now, because of the numbers, what that means is we're probably not going to see a lot of the 1/1 legend cards in year one, and potentially out of, you know, the 100 diamonds and the 1,000 platinums and the, you know, 2,500, the different tiers, how they go through, we might not see a lot of those high cards. But what it does mean is once they're on the game, because they're NFTs, players can actually go after them and actually, like very similar to eBay, we've got our own marketplace where you'd be able to jump on and say, right, I want to buy that legend Sam Walsh card for $5, and you'd buy that off another coach and he'd be able to sell it to you, for example. So you've got to make decisions about, are you going to go on the packs to try and get a good player, or are you going to sort of trade between each other? Or maybe it's like a traditional old school trading card game where I might give you my silver Tuke Miller for your gold Sam Walsh, and we might do just a straight swap like that. So yeah, lots of different ways you can go about collecting these cards.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, so I've been sent some screenshots of the game and it is looking pretty good so far. Not yet to be released, of course. So when do you think the release date will be coming for AFL?
Yeah, very, very soon. So we are launching an AFL and NRL game first. So those are the two sports we're launching for the start of the 22 season. So just to be sure, we're not affiliated with the AFL or NRL in any way. Just want to make that clear. But we are releasing a game that's going to be based on the AFL and NRL. So we're planning to have packs to be able to be opened by the end of this month, which is really, really exciting. So coaches will be able to go in and start buying packs and actually opening them. So as you know, we've got our store sale there at the moment, so people can go and pre-order their packs. But as at the end of this month, you'll actually be able to start opening them and see who you have. As of next month, we're going to start releasing in a few stages. First, you'll be able to start moving your players around amongst your team. Then we're going to introduce trading, and we're going to introduce a few other really cool features and exciting stuff we've going on. And that'll be between the end of this month and the start of the AFL season, as well as a few other features that'll be rolled out throughout the year. So yeah, you will really start to see things and start to see in-game footage for everyone at the end of this month. And then from there, then I imagine the next 6 months will just be a wave of really, really cool things we've got coming.
Perfect. So yeah, for the guys that watch this video, of course, if you want to buy a pack, they do cost, of course, real money for these packs. If 20% off, for the pre-sale packs that are out at the moment. If you buy a pre-sale pack, you will get, I believe, a code, emailed to you. Is that correct, Callum?
Yeah. So at the moment, you get a code sent out that'll be redeemable once the game opens. So yeah, which, well, like we said, only a few weeks away. So
perfect. Then once you redeem that code, of course, when the game comes out, you will get your packs. And guys, if you want 20% off on those, code right there, VinnyXBL GDS. Use it 20% off on all pre-sale packs. So another question I really wanted to ask you, Helen, was who is Gameday Squad? When did this get created, and what sports do you do, etc.?
yeah, so the story of how we got created is a bit of a funny one. So I really there was a company called Football Index, and they've since gone broke over in Europe. And it was like a stock market for players in European football. Me being a finance guy, I loved the idea. And I always thought, hey, how cool would that be to have some sort of something where you could have players, where you can actually have some sort of, hey, I like that player. He goes up in value. I benefit in some way. So I kind of had that idea, and I was speaking about it with a couple of mates. And then all of a sudden, as I was sort of speaking through that, and as we sort of realized that that wasn't really a great model, we started getting introduced to the world of NFTs and the world of the blockchain. And we saw a couple of things very similar, but also very different to what we're doing. And we just went, why can't we create that for AFL and NRL like players? So merged a couple of the ideas together. Obviously, we were all massive FIFA. We played that growing up, Ultimate Team. So that a style of sort of opening packs, getting players, putting them in your team, and competing with each other. Combine that with the fact we all absolutely love fantasy, whether it's AFL, NBA, EPL, and yeah, the idea of Gamedaysquad was born. And yeah, I was based in Sydney all last year, so I was in lockdown, and I had plenty of time to spare to think, as I'm sure everyone who's listening who's from Victoria as well had time to think. And yeah, we really just sort of snowballed, and we're here today launching a platform with two sports, with the idea of really looking to launch other sports in the future. So, the big bash for the end of the year, potentially things like the NBL, the NBA, and things like that as well. So yeah, we'd love for it to be more than just AFL and NRL, but that's what we're starting with this year.
Perfect. Yeah, guys, so once again, if you guys are watching, the packs do cost real money, and how it will work is, of course, there is, I believe there's, obviously, I'll ask Colin about this now. I believe there's 4 or 5 different packs. Obviously, if you want to try to get one of the best players with the highest tiers, it is, I believe, $50. So make sure you use that code. And Callum, if you just want to talk a bit about the prices and what's in each pack.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to go through without sort of people knowing through, but there are, like you said, there are different tiers for, different players. And, the idea being the more you pay, the rarer the card tier that you get. But in saying that, we just want to make sure we do have a free-to-play game. So we're using our bronze cards as our sort of 1x multiplier tier. And those cards aren't going to cost money. People are going to get given those cards, very similar to like a FIFA where you've got a squad building challenge. You can accumulate them over time. You can trade them with each other. So for those looking to not spend any money and, potentially not wanting to buy the NFTs or not to buy the cards, there is that option for you. But for those who either love NFTs or love the idea of this as a sort of fantasy model, then absolutely that's an option for them there. We've got 3 different types of packs. So we go on our website, www.gamedaysquad.com.au. There's a section where it lists out all the different percentages and the things like that there. So
I will link that in bio, by the way, guys.
Yeah, and if you have any questions from that, we're obviously still quite new with how we're doing everything. So if there's something where you feel like we haven't explained it and things like that, we're more than happy to sort of answer questions directly on Instagram or even on our YouTube channel and things like that as well. So, but expect a lot more of content to come out from our side. And now we have some sort of in-game footage to show over the next month. So
can't wait for that. Perfect. how much members is there of Game Day Squad? Because I know you are the owner, the CEO. Like either some more mates you've got or guys you just met online, etc., etc.
Yeah, so we've now got a team of 11 people, which is pretty crazy to think about from, sitting here 12 months ago, really looking to be like, oh, it'd be cool to do something like that to, 12 months later, there's a team of 11 of us. And majority of them I've either played footy with or I've studied with or they're mates of mates or, family members, different things like that. And we've met some really cool people along the way. And on top of that, we've also got a few different people in our sort of podcast network. So I'm not sure, again, if people haven't heard of us before, we've actually got multiple different podcasts. So we've got an AFL podcast, footy Game Day Squad podcast, an NBA one, a cricket one, an NRL one, and an NFL one. So there's people on those podcasts that I haven't included in that 11, but all up, I think there's 14 different people involved in Game Day Squad with some way, which is really, really cool. It just means we have a team where we're able to produce a lot of stuff. And yeah, I'm think when you guys sort of see the output we're going to have at the end of this month and sort of lead up to the season, you'll see that, yeah, it's been a lot of hard work from some really good people. So
perfect. So let's go back into the AFL sort of things here with Game Day Squad. So okay, let's just say you open a $50 pack and you get like a Sam Walsh, let's just say. Is that Sam Walsh yours like forever? Forever, you don't lose him, anything like that.
Correct. So it's imagine if you played FIFA, but it went from year on year. So that card you get, it's like a trading card. If you went up to the store at the newsagents, you open up a pack, you get a Sam Walsh. That Sam Walsh is going to be your card forever until he retires. So you can play him forever. You can store him away in your bench forever. You can trade him peer to peer, or you can sell him. You can do it's yours. You've got full ownership on it as an NFT. That's the beauty about NFTs. And I'm not going to get sort of too technical. If you're not sure what an NFT is and sort of the whole blockchain space, that's completely okay. There are some stuff on our website. There's some really good blogs. I recommend go checking them out. There's a nice little introduction into what are NFTs. And there's also another one that one of our guys, Hayden, wrote about, how do NFTs work in fantasy sport. But the main thing I want your viewers to take away is you don't need to know what an NFT is. If you just imagine it, it's your virtual trading card. It becomes yours. So yeah, if you get that Sam Walsh card, and if it's the one of one Sam Walsh legend card, which I think will be the most valuable card in the game, then you can sell them now, or you can sell them in a year. You could not sell them at all. You could be, you can have that card as your captain for the next 10 years. Completely up to you.
Perfect. Not to be biased, but he has got a great career ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even Collingwood fans would agree with you on that one.
Yeah, exactly. So. Like, I've got a mate. Obviously hates Carlton. He is a Collingwood fan, and he says, Sam Walsh is a great player. He saves us every week, which I've got to agree with him on that. He's just a game changer. He's one of those game changing, technically gifted players in the AFL who is just good at everything by the looks of things.
Yeah, we had a podcast on Carlton. We're doing a review series at the moment. We had a look at their year and we all gave him Star of the Year. And I think there was one stat where he got 30 Brownlow votes and the two other Blues to get that were Greg Williams and Chris Judd. So I think he's only 21. So he's in some pretty good company at a pretty young age. So yeah, I think if anyone does pack that one of one legend Sam Walsh card, it's going to be a very, very valuable card. And I reckon it'll go for a little bit of money.
Perfect. Yeah, guys. So also just on that with the packs, of course, if you were to pack that legend Sam Walsh, and obviously you bought the pack for 50, you could definitely make some money off of that, no doubt. Obviously, Callum, if you want to talk a bit about like the trading sort of side of it.
Yeah, so it's not too similar to trading cards. So if you were to go out and buy trading cards there, we can't say that you'll make money or lose money or anything like that. It's no different to collectibles. That's what we're looking at as. We're digital collectibles. So people, sometimes you get a Sam Walsh and might do his ACL twice in a row and, he might go backwards and, that's just what happens with sport. But yeah, what we do think that it's going to happen is it's going to be very similar where people trade around. And if you think very young, if you see someone coming out of the draft that you go, hey, that guy's a star, I know he's going to be a gun fantasy player for years to come, you can go after his cards and get them. And yeah, you potentially can sell them for a lot higher. But yeah, just got to be mindful as well around that they are collectibles and collectibles do go up and down. So
perfect. Is there going to be like when you say, of course, every single player in the AFL, is that all the draftees that got nominated, etc., etc.?
Yeah, I believe there's 776 cards. Ooh. So yeah, what that most players, I should say. What that does mean is we've tried to be very careful to not make this like a pay to win game where you could just spend lots of money, get lots of packs like FIFA, because you can do that, and over time people who are smarter will be better than players who just spend heaps of money, because you could open a pack and get a 9-player pack and get 6 rookies in that pack versus being smarter and sort of trading your way up for different things like that there. So yeah, there's lots of different ways you can go about it.
Perfect. So you said not a pay to win. So you've tried your hardest to not make this any sort of pay to win at all, of course. Like, for example, someone blows $400 on $50 packs. Will he have an advantage against a guy who gets one $50 pack, for instance?
Yeah. So the short answer is yeah. He will have an advantage, just purely because he's going to have more cards to choose from at that stage. But the idea with our model is it is a dynasty, so it's a year on year. And like I said, there is that free to play element where you can accumulate cards and different things over time. So if you are a really good fantasy manager and you say, hey, maybe I'm not going to, year one, I don't want to spend any money, but I really want to build a team. So in 3 years, I'm fantastic and really competing for the prizes and things that are on store, then you can do that. Or someone can spend the money because they really want to, build their team up now and open more packs and things like that as well. So there's multiple ways you can play around it. We try to, like I said, we have like a free to play league as well as sort of an open league as well. So it doesn't matter what camp you fall in, if you do or you don't want to spend money. Hopefully there's a fantasy game that we're developing that is right there for everyone. And I think regardless of what it is, I think if you're still playing a fantasy sort of, if you don't want to spend any money, I think when you see our platform and you see some of the features we have, I think it's really going to, make the AFL fantasy and Supercoach games look very outdated.
Perfect. So obviously you mentioned about sorry, let me just restart that. You are obviously in contact with a few other YouTubers. Obviously I'm not going to name them, but you are in contact with some other YouTubers, of course.
Yep.
And really, so let's just say that there's a YouTuber watching this video who is interested in Gameday Squad and I guess wants to become part of the team, like the sponsorship side of things. Because you did mention to me that, of course, sponsorships obviously after you get the game out and all of that, you're going to get some sponsorships going for certain YouTubers. Did you just want to talk a bit about that and what's to come?
Yeah, so I won't go into sort of too much, but yeah, definitely we have been speaking to a lot of people. Because we are a small startup. We don't have millions and millions of dollars in the bank, and the majority of our funds are going to our development of our game. So yeah, we're really trying to figure out how the best way we can get word of mouth and how to get this game out. We will be doing some marketing and things like that. But one thing we are very open to, of course, is speaking to people like yourself and coming on brilliant shows like this where we can sit and talk about our game and get some exposure to it. And I think over time, through stuff we have planned and through talking to lots of these people on Instagram or YouTube and things like that, then yeah, we do think we can spread our game. So yeah, if anyone is interested, please reach out to us, our Instagram page or even our YouTube as well. They're probably the two best places to get us.
Perfect. And guys, the Instagram is linked on screen as you will see it right now. Gameday_squad. They will definitely reply to you, no doubt about that. I sent them a message to say like, this is how we really got started. Sent them a message to say good stuff with everything you're doing and all that. And then like here we are now, interviewing the owner on my YouTube, trying to get it out there for people. And yeah, so. What's the like? So obviously you've got AFL and NRL are the two main ones you're focusing on at the moment. Could we see? Obviously, we talked a bit before this, and both big Premier League fans. Could we see EPL maybe, which of course might be a bit hard to compete with, other sort of things. Being in Australia, it's just always harder with something as big as the Premier League. But can we see the Premier League maybe coming into place here?
Yeah, I'd love to think so. Like I said, we're all sport mad too, so. We had a meeting the other day and we were all talking about what we're most looking forward to. And my response to that question was, I just can't wait to play the game. I'm a massive AFL fantasy guy, so I'm really excited about the game we're creating. And I'm also a massive NBA and EPL fantasy guy. So if I can create a game and we can create a game that's simply what we're doing now, but for those other sports, I think that'd be fantastic. For me personally, I'd love to play it. But then also in terms of what we're trying to do, we really are trying to become the one-stop shop for all things Australian fantasy sport.
Yeah.
We want you to be able to come here and play BBL in the future. We want you to play NBA. We want you to play EPL. Now, that's a dream we have at the moment. We're obviously still quite new, and our focus is on AFL and NRL because they are the two sports we are going after. But definitely in the future, if things go well and people like our platform and like what we're doing, then yeah, it's definitely something we want to expand into. That's for sure.
Perfect. Okay, I mean, to be honest, guys, I think we've really cleared up most things here. Of course, if you guys have any other questions that have not been answered in this video, Gameday_squad on Instagram. I would say it's probably one of the best ways to reach you guys. Would I be correct?
Yeah, Instagram's probably the best.
Instagram would be the best way to reach them. They do, of course, reply whenever they have the time. And yeah, guys, make sure 20% off pre-sale packs code right there. It's not the dash. The dash is just so you guys know. Vinny XBL GDS, exactly like it is written on screen. Callum, I want to thank you very much for coming onto the channel today. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be on.
No worries. And very excited to see where this game leads to. And so guys, we might just finish it there. I'm Vinny XBL, the CEO of Gameday Squad, and here we are to say peace out, guys, and hope you guys enjoyed.
Thanks, guys.